people I know who have come from the village to support us tonight. So, format for tonight is I'm just going to show you a few simple designs that might inspire you to get creative. I'll talk a little bit about gardening and plants, because we've got some wonderful bulbs down there which I might tempt you all to go and dig some holes tomorrow and pop a bulb in, because we're always planning as gardeners and looking forward. I'll talk a little bit about my career in floristry and what I get up to, but really it's just a relaxing night that hopefully you'll all enjoy and you'll go home feeling that flowers are wonderful, because I don't know how you are, we're in this world, aren't we, where it's pretty chaotic, it's pretty mad, and we don't always have time to just really step back and sniff the flowers, as they say. So tonight it's your chance to relax Wednesday, and you've all come out to play on a Wednesday night. That's not bad going, is it? You've all had a pass out, and it's quite a nice thing to do, isn't it, to come out and have a little midweek jolly. Well, first thing I'm going to do is, I feel like I'm going to preach to you really being studying, but I'm certainly not going to do that. First thing I'm going to do is start off with a bunch, because I think most people, when they get into flowers, they just like to do a bunch of flowers, and there's something lovely, isn't there, about being given a bouquet of flowers. And for me, as a florist, because although I sort of travel all over doing this type of stuff, basically I'm a florist at heart. I used to have flower shops, and a big part of my work was bread and butter flower arranging, which was bouquets for Valentine's Day, for Mother's Day, for Christmas, Easter, for the highlights and the lowlights of people's lives there. So I thought I'd just start off really back to where it all began, which is a nice big bunch of flowers. And we didn't see a lot of sunshine today, did we? Certainly not where I live, and not sure what it's been like here. But the weather's been a little bit mixed, hasn't it? But I thought I'd bring some gold inside, some yellows, because yellow's a really uplifting colour, isn't it? It lifts your spirits and cheers you up. So I feel sorry for the people behind the poles there. You're going to have a stiff neck, some of you, aren't you, by the end of the night? I'll keep waving things about, well, flowers, not anything else, but so you can see what I'm up to. If you're making a bouquet, top tip is you need something to bind it with and tie it off with. And I know there's quite a few flower folks here, so you'll know about this stuff. But for anybody else, this is something called paper-covered wire, and it's radically will change your life, because you'll never struggle with a bit of string or a bit of twine again, because this is fantastic, because it's got a really thin, fine wire running through it, covered in crepe paper, and it really nips the stems together. And I know there's quite a few people here who will know my dad, who lives in Northampton. He nicks this from my studio when he comes home, and he takes it to have in his greenhouse for tying his tomatoes up, and he'll say, oh, I gave some of that away to so-and-so on the road, can I have another roll of it? So he gets through this, really tying all his plants up. So if you start with a bouquet, where do you think you start? Flower or foliage? Foliage. Oh, we've got some knowledge in here tonight. Better be on form, hadn't I? So I'm going to start with foliage. I'm going to start with some of this stuff, which is called Choisia tenata. And its common name is Mexican orange blossom. And this is an interesting plant, because where you plant this changes its colour. So if you plant it in a really well-lit, bright location, it goes this fantastic sulphuric yellow. If you plant it in a shady spot, it's more a deeper green. So it really needs sunlight to activate it. A bit like some of us, I think, really. We do need the sunshine to get us cracking, don't we? Another nice plant, I'm going to give you loads of tips for what you can grow in your garden, is this other foliage, which is this little leaf stuff here, which is called Saracocca. And Saracocca, its common name is winter box. And if you've not got a winter box, then you need to go to the garden centres tomorrow, and get one. That one doesn't want to play, does it? And it's a great thing to have in your garden, because, thanks, Dawney, in winter time, it smells wonderful, thanks, sweet, because it smells of lily of the valley. So if you get one of those and you plant it near a pathway, or, you know, a kitchen, or somewhere where you walk past, you'll always have that fantastic fragrance, and it's joyful. It really, really is. And it's a hardy evergreen, so it's always got foliage on it. And then it's little white flowers, which come in the winter. 'Cause we don't have many things flower in winter, do we? If you think about it, it's pretty boring out there in the garden, isn't it? So if we've got things that give us winter interest, then that's a bonus. And when its little flowers finish, it has them green berries that turn jet black around May and June time. And it's really gorgeous, really, really lovely. So I'm just mixing together, just in the old hand here. And if you're in a flower shop, which, you know, I used to be, you're getting nicely on with your bouquet and you're doing this, and then your phone starts to ring. And you've got somebody wanting to order something on the phone. So you like this, like taking a phone order while you're holding your bouquet. And then there's somebody rushed in who's parked on double yellow lines and they just want to buy a plant really quickly. So you like serving them at the same time. So florists have to learn to be multidextrous, we have to do lots of things. And I know we're in a minority tonight, I'm not the only one here, and I am proving for the male of the species that men can multitask. Because we can talk and work at the same time. You can answer a phone while you're doing a bouquet, and you can serve somebody. But when I used to work in a floristry college, which was again in another life, a distant life, we used to teach, in those days it was City and Guilds floristry qualifications up to level 4. And when you first started on a level 1 course, you had to learn how to do a bunch, a bouquet of flowers. And you had to do it to timed assessment. So they hated you, students. And they used to say, why do you have to do a bouquet in 5 minutes? It's absolutely ridiculous, because in real life, you'd never do it in 5 minutes. You wouldn't have to be under that pressure. And then you would say, you wait while you get in a flower shop at Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. You have to do it in 3 minutes then. So it was a real stressful thing, doing a bouquet in 5 minutes. But it was a timed assessment. Any florists here? Oh, nobody wants to admit that, do they, when you're in a room like this? Well, perhaps that's not a bad thing, really. Because nowadays, if we teach in floristry, they don't have to do timed assessments, because we can't put anybody under pressure anymore, can we? So they can take as long as they want to make a bouquet. And then when they do get in a flower shop, it's like, it's so under stress then. It's like, is it really like this in a flower shop? Yes, it is. So we do this thing where we spiral our stems. So we've twisted our little stems around there, and this is now ready to tie off. So my little miraculous bit of paper-covered wire, I can just hold that and just wrap that around here. And the great thing about this is I can just wrap it around. I don't need to tie it or knot it, because that will now just sit and hold. So it's so much easier than fiddling with string, and then all I do is just cross that, twist it a couple of times, and then it's bound it all together. So dead easy to do that. I find, if I'm in the garden, I don't know about you, perhaps it's getting old this, but I find string dead annoying. Because if I'm tying something up in the garden, I either cut it massively too long or too short, or I'm in the middle of the border tying something up and then the string rolls and it's gone flying, it's wrapped itself around something else. So paper-covered wire is so much easier. So that's my little bouquet here, and if I just look somewhere, I've got a vase. And we'll just pop that in a vase. So for somebody tonight, you can take that home, can't you? And perhaps if you sort of come out and your other half's left at home and thinking, is she really going to a flower arranging demonstration? You can get home, you can say, this lovely man gave me this bunch of flowers tonight. So you can keep on guessing then. So first one there is that little bouquet. So I'll just pop that down there.